So continuing with our theme around entrepreneurs and having to overcome adversity to be successful, we want to welcome Pax Harvey up to the podium. We're going to brag on Pax a little bit. We're the Dene College folks. Hey, so there's some faculty, staff, students from Dene College. Pax, graduate of Dene College, and also NAU. He's a College of Business former student as well. And so, please come to the stage. Welcome, Pax Harvey.
Okay, how about one more time for Brian?
All right.
And the Master of Ceremony, give him a round of applause for doing an outstanding job. And give yourselves a round of applause for being here today. You could be anywhere else, but you chose to be here today. Thank you very much. I'm going to introduce myself in a respectful, traditional custom, in our custom as Dene people. I'd say, Twitchini Dene on bitter water. So that coffee you guys have back there, that's me. And that's who I am. Born for Coyote Pass. Next time the coyote passes you, that'd be my dad's going by. Sitna Jini, Black Street Blue people are my paternal grandparents. My maternal grandparents are the Big Water clan, Twitsomi. So that's who I am. That's our appropriate custom way of introducing yourself. I was always told that by my grandfolks. So thank you guys very much. And first and foremost, before I forget some of the stuff, I want to thank NAU, Northern Arizona University, Center of American Indian Economic Development Group, and the partnership with Wells Fargo as well. Thank you guys for putting this on together and collaborating on this wonderful, beautiful conference. So give them a round of applause too as well. And I am a proud former student of Dene College, and also a former student of Lumberjacks of North University. And I also want to thank the Navajo Nation. They're also here in the house from the Economic Development. Thank you, professionals. Thank you very much. The reason why I'm mentioning that too is because I am a product of the Navajo Nation, and also I am currently part of the first Native American, the first Navajo Nation business incubator that was developed about a year ago, in partnership with New Mexico and the Navajo Technical University and Navajo Nation. So my small little company, baby company, is with that incubator. So thank you guys very much. And also, there also is a wonderful young lady sitting all the way back here, my sister over there, Natasha Johnson. She's also, she got married, by the way. Natasha, what's your last name now? What was it? I forgot. Huh? Hale. She is with the business incubator here in this area, Grand Canyon Trust. So they help Native American small businesses grow as well. So she's also here. Good to see you as well. And I'm giving some shout outs, by the way, in case I forget some of these people. And I also want to, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm proud of what we're doing in Indian country. And then the other thing too is we have the first and youngest Navajo president of the Chamber of Commerce of Page area. And he's here with us. I want you guys to recognize him. This is Duran J. Lister. Stand up, Duran, stand up. He is the youngest Navajo to be the first president of the Chambers of Commerce in Page area. And that is a big success for our Native people. So I want to congratulate him again. Brother, you've done a good job. And I want to thank all the politicians, the leaders, the educators, and professionals that are here with us as well. And of course, the Wells Fargo. I'm also a proud former employee of Wells Fargo. Yes. I used to be a project manager for Wells Fargo. Back then, they had this hands-on banking program. So I taught financial literacy on the Navajo Nation, throughout the Navajo Nation, from investments, how the banks work, small banks, regional banks, national banks, how they work, and what kind of products they offer, and so forth. And help them invest too. Very hard to teach Native how to invest money. We know how to invest products. I mean, like like food, like what am I trying to say? Agriculture. We know how to invest in squash, corn, but not the peso, not money. So I try to help them realize that it is the same concept. So stuff like that is what I did. So I guess you could say I'm coming to full circle today. Yeah, this is one of those times and moments where you come in full circle. I was one of those students that didn't listen. I was one of those students that I got by with a C minus. I had like 10, 20 tutors helping me through school. And I don't know how the heck I made it and I squeezed by. I don't know. Sometimes I reflect back and I can't believe I actually went to school. So I am considered as one of those res boys that's rugged and grew up on the Navajo Nation with some hardcore res love. Tough love is how I was brought up. In other words, the other day I called my mom. She goes, "Who's this?" I'm like, "Mom, this is your son." She goes, "Which one?" I'm like, "Mom, this is your favorite one." She goes, "Oh, hi, Alex." I was like, "No, Mom, this is Pat." She's like, "Oh, it's you. What do you want?" I was like, "Mom, I just wanted to say hi." She goes, "Well, hurry up and say it. I'm busy." That's res love. That's tough love. You know, I grew up in the power of destitution. I grew up in a low-income family, a broken home. As unfortunately, my dad took his life when I was about 9 years old. Domestic violence was happening in my family, and I grew up in a broken home. And I don't know how I survived that as well. But today, as I begin to go through my journey of life, I found myself in college one day. And by this time, I changed my degree so many times. I wasn't going to sports medicine, I wasn't going to English, I wasn't going to writing. I changed my degree, so I wasted so much money in college until I finally found myself in the College of Business one day. My business professor was talking. And little did I know, I think I had that short attention disorder. Is that what it is? What is it called? Because of, ADHD. I was always like this kind of guy. And when I was sitting in a business class, this professor was saying, in this field, there's no work that's undone. It's constant work. You're constantly moving. You're constantly traveling. You're going places in the world of business. So I was like, maybe that's what I can do. I like this idea. And so as I transitioned through my life, I had a daughter when I was about 21 years old. And I was like maybe my freshman year in college. And so right at this time, at that point, real life hit me at that point. I didn't know how to be a dad. When my daughter came into my life, I did not know how to be a father. I wasn't prepared because I grew up without a dad. And so when this baby girl came into my life, I knew at that point I had to do something with myself. I had to better my life. I had to better my environment and my circumstance for her. She became my motivation. So from that point on, at this point I was battling with anger, confusion, emotional pain. I was going through so much emotional pain of being ashamed and embarrassed of where I was coming from. Because when I was 9 years old, I was also sexually molested at 9 years old. And I didn't know where to go with this. I didn't know where to take this with me. I was carrying this pain with me for so long. Until that point when my daughter came into my life, she gave me the reason to better myself. So that's when I began to work on me. Prayers weren't working then. The Bible wasn't working on me. Medicine people weren't working on me. They were trying to have ceremonies for me. They were trying to pray for me, to help me. But it was not penetrating at that point because I was not accepting it. Until that point, when I got that reason to better myself, that's when I knew that I had to better myself. And it began by, number one, it began with me. It starts with us individually, each and every one of you. You can't depend people on helping you better yourself. It starts with you first. That's the only way that help will penetrate. That's the only way the medicine, the prayers, and the medicine people will make sense to you until you find yourself and know yourself very well. So I began to understand the human behavior. I began to understand social development, social growth, and I began to understand psychology, the human psychology. I began to understand people through myself because of who I was and where I came from. I began to understand people. So this is where I began to realize that a person can become a better person by working on themselves. And through that process, I wrote research papers on motivation. I started studying motivation. And this is when I was intrigued by motivation, and I fell in love with motivation. And when I began to write these papers, I began to see a broader vision of the community, and the people, and families, and individuals, and society as a whole. So this is when I was like, okay, I'm onto something here. This is when I realized this is where my idea was born. As an entrepreneur, it's all about ideas. Entrepreneurs is what builds society. Entrepreneurs is what builds the country. It's what builds growth. Entrepreneurs are people that have an idea and then they apply it. People like Henry Ford. People like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, all started off with an idea. And look what happened to those entrepreneurs today. It builds the economy. So when I began to study that and see that picture, I was like, okay, for myself, for my people, in my hometown, in my community, in my nation, there's a lot of human behavior that goes in and out. So when I was going down this road and studying the college and in business, I began to see that there's a need for our people. Why is it that, so here was my question, why is it that when people get a job, they get hired, they start off happy, but remember that day when you guys first wrote your letter of interest? Remember that day when you applied for the job and you wrote your letter of interest? What did you write in your letter of interest? What did you guys write? I am dependable. I am responsible. I can multitask, right? I don't think any of you put, well, if people get on my nerve, I kind of get mad. You didn't put that on your letter of interest. You sold yourself, and then you got the job. And then when people get hired, man, they are fired up in the first 2-3 weeks. They have all these ideas, innovation comes in, and then they create, and all of a sudden, like a year, 2-3 years later, you see these same individuals, they're like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm not happy no more. They lost their happiness somewhere. They lost their moral somewhere. And I was like, what causes that? What happens? What are the factors that makes a person, not into their jobs anymore? What is that? So that's the route I took. Today, my consulting business, I provide professional development workshops and presentations from making moral, ethical decisions in the workplace to workplace bullying, to how to prevent toxic workplace, to customer service, all the way down to communication, organizational behavior, how organizations behave. So I saw this, when I was doing this, I began to see a model. I'm like, wow, okay, if I can't help my people individually, I'm gonna help these organizations, the individual employees of these businesses, departments and divisions. An example, Department of Behavioral Health Services with the NAU Nation. They help our people through addiction, through alcoholism, through counseling, they help them with medical needs that they might need to help them better their lives. So I was like, okay, I need to take care of those people so they can take care of those customers. So I was like, I'm going to take care of these employees. I want to provide presentations and workshops for them and help them boost up their morale, so remind them of why and try to reconnect their passion, why they have that profession. So that way, they can, if they're feeling good here, they can be more effective and efficient in providing that service for that customer. So that's the route I began to take. I'm going to do this. And I started to build this Pax Harvey Consulting. And I started to put programs together and proposals together. And even though I failed so many times, I'm right now, I'm still struggling as an entrepreneur. So when, what was her name? The lady here from yes, Claire, and you were talking about social impact on building portfolios. I was like, man, that's where I need to go. I need to build some type of portfolio that has social impacts within our Navajo Nation. Unfortunately, right now, I don't think the Navajo Nation Economic Development has something like that for us yet. You know, as consultants, as entrepreneurs, if our Navajo people can invest in entrepreneurs on the Navajo Nation, you don't have to bring in big companies. You don't have to bring in big coal companies and oil companies and all these people. No. Just invest in our entrepreneurs one by one. Because that's what builds the economy. If you can feed that one person, feed my idea and help me with this idea and help my business grow, I can build a firm. And when you look into the study of economic development, the GDP, the gross domestic product, if you look in there, this economy is built on firms. Firms. And the majority of the firms are run by females. Ladies, good job. Yes. It's by females. So I was like, hey, what about the guys? What about us, man? Come on, we got to build a firm too. So I was like, I'm gonna try to represent the guys in this field. I want to try to build a firm. And so I began to do that little by little. And this is where I'm at now, currently. And I got a call from the staff and employees here, Gwen and Crystal, and they were like, we want you to come back and give us a little bit of your experience and share a little bit of words of encouragement with our people. And I was like, are you sure you want to do that? Because I'm still failing as I speak to you. I'm not successful. People think I have money. I don't have the money. I am hustling every day. I am a hustler, man. I am trying to get where I want to. Yeah, I am trying. And so what Brian was saying, the most important thing here is this, folks, is the passion I have for this. It's the passion that keeps me going every day. If I didn't have a love for what I'm doing, obviously I would not be here. And that's key in everything that we're doing here today. Everything that we're talking about here today is we have to have a passion for it. Let's not just do it just so we can take care of ourselves. That's not what business is about. Business is about taking care of our people. And I see this whole picture here of Wells Fargo. Thank you guys very much. I know there's the national level, the news kind of put you guys in the, things happen there. But what business has not failed? What business has not been knocked down? All businesses throughout the world, one way or another, were knocked down. And it's those big businesses that keep getting back up and they make themselves better out of it. Hopefully Wells Fargo, learns from that whole situation. Yeah. And to see what you guys are doing and to fund this and then to fund our students here, to provide scholarship, that I am very grateful of. And I can't say more than enough on that, but thank you guys very much for doing that. And that shows your support for our people. And then the solar energy project you guys are doing, stuff like that for our people, it's definitely a big need. And so I just want to say thank you guys very much for this time. I don't have much time. I've also forgot to mention that once I let that emotional pain go, I also found myself becoming a comedian. I became a comedian too. Yeah. It's crazy. I did not expect to be a comedian. If you would have asked me 15 years ago, what are you going to do with your life? I would have said, I don't know. If people ask me, was this planned? Did you always want to become a comedian? I'm like, no. It wasn't planned. You know how people say, if you want to better your life, you have to surround yourself with people that are successful. I found myself I've surrounded myself with James and Ernie, which are Navajo comedians and Native American comedians. They're known throughout the U.S. And they're the guys I always give a lot of credit to because they're the ones that helped me to better myself. And as they say, the people you hang out with is who you become. So I became a comedian. And about 15 years ago, I was very shy. I could not get in front of an audience. But today, that's what I do for a living now. And so 90% of my job is just talking to people. Not just talking, but creating ideas and sharing those ideas and strategies and techniques, components, philosophies, theories, and principles on helping oneself better themselves and an organization or division better themselves so that we can... Here's another model that I also see. A lot of our people in the Navajo Nation are saying, we have no more money, we exhausted our funds, we have no more capital, okay? They don't realize that the money is always there. There's more money than they think It's just that the employees from here were not producing those numbers and statistics that the funders need from us. And why are we not producing those numbers and statistics is because we are not into our job. We don't like it. We have too much personal issues going on. We forgot about the focus on the customer and the work that we do. Because if we can do that, if we can, yes, thank you. If we can realign ourselves with why we're really there, and you start producing more statistics and positive statistics, more money will be given to you. And that's what I'm trying to do with this whole vision that I have. So if any of you guys out there have any idea how I can better myself in this, talk to me. Please help me. And I just want to thank you guys again very much for allowing me to be here today. It's a blessing, and I'm thrilled. Thank you guys very much. It's also good to see Sharon, doctor here. Sharon knows me when I first walked on campus. She's the one that had to pat me on the back, and when I was crying and weeping, I wanted to go home. She's like, no, just you'll be fine. I remember her. Thank you. It's good to see you again. And Kathleen as well. Kathleen, the NAU back then, this was years ago, really they were marketing to our native people, but it was only to a certain extent. And so Kathleen and a group of people, when I was going to school here, they were like, you know what? Let's create a marketing plan. Let's do a marketing thing so where we can market to Native Americans more. So I was part of that first project where we did posters and flyers and stuff. In fact, I was on some of those pictures, on some of those flyers. I wanted to see some of those. And we started promoting the Native Americans, marketing toward them more. And so today, the enrollment in the Native American enrollment here increased since then. So I was just glad. Thank you for doing that, and thank you. I was very happy to be a part of that as well. So, many success happened through all these little things I've done. Even with Wells Fargo, I was very happy to be selected Marketing Champion of the Year, 1 year. You know how they party. Yeah. This Navajo kid right here, this Gigi Navajo kid, never thought I would become a Marketing Champion of the Year with Wells Fargo. I got selected 1 year. And my wife and I, they took us on a plane, they paid for everything, and then we flew into Las Vegas, and we rode on this really nice bus, and when we got out at this building, they had red carpet, man. It was like red carpet and everything, they catered to us, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I am here. And Wells Fargo did that for me as well, and they really pushed and helped me to become where I'm at today, and so I'm just grateful very much for everything. Okay? How much time do I have? I'm like, Brian must be a councilman too, because he kept going on, he kept talking and talking. Okay, I'm done. I am done. They're cutting me off now. Thank you, people, very much.